Kelly and Peter and Amber. You all know Amber, she's not in the room because she's taking up the other person who's bent over backwards to make up this event, which is Hannah. They're bringing pie, by the way, that's being baked right now. And then Chelsea, who I don't see. And then I saw all kinds of people step up to do things over there and create these decorations. It's really, really special to me. I feel very loved and appreciated. And it's just been so magical this whole night to look around and see all these people who I love, who love me, who are here to celebrate my journey and to celebrate their own journeys. That's what we always do when we come together, is to celebrate all of ourselves. So, the format that I wanted for the event tonight is that of inspiration and open heart sharing. The way that I see this to happen is to have some short inspirational speeches from whoever wants to deliver them. And I know some people have actually been practicing some for their speech tonight, including me. And then we'll also have some music, which was a spontaneous development that I didn't even think of or plan. I brought my harp to play. I know there's a piano right here, and there's at least one guitar in the room. So we'll have some music too. I don't know how it'll all play out. I don't know if security will try to kick us out at 9. It's 8:12. I have a flip phone, by the way. I don't pay very much per month for it. It's nice.
It's nice. Very nice.
So we'll just see what happens. And I feel like that's in a bit of the spirit of my trip, is just to see what happens. For those of you who don't know, my going away party, I've been here basically for 7 years, prior to having actually grown up here. So it's been a lot of years for me. And I'll explain more of this later, but I'm going to be leaving my work here and flying to Australia. My flight is on March 28th. And I'm going to explore. It's my chance to just step out of everything I know and into a new world and ask myself who I am and what I want to do in my life. And just have adventures and ask questions that I've never even thought to ask, or experiences I never meant to have. So that's why I say, I'm just showing up. All I know is I have my plane ticket, and I know where I'm sleeping my first night. I don't know anything more than that. That'll be the spirit of the event tonight. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be great, whatever it is. So I'd like to surrender the stage. Let's begin with a speech. Andrew, you be down to kick us off?
Let's do it.
Okay. Please welcome to the stage, Andrew. Okay, so just to reiterate, the format is like, instead of 18-minute TED Talks, we're like 3 to 7 minutes. And and for anyone, this is a chance to just share from the heart. Whatever inspires you or gets you excited, and we can all benefit and bathe in the inspiration of our dear friends. All right, Andrew.
All right, I'm going to start off by sharing something that inspired me when I wrote it, when I read it. And I guess it's traditional because it says woman, because they're expecting women to be the ones who cook. So don't worry about that. All right. If a woman could see the sparks of light going forth from her fingertips when she is cooking, writes one of the masters, and the substance of light that goes into the food she handles, she would be amazed to see how much of herself she charges into the meals that she prepares for her family and friends. It is one of the most important and least understood activities of life, that the radiation and feeling that go into the preparation of food affect everyone who partakes of it. And this activity should be unhurried, peaceful, and happy. It would be better that an individual not eat at all than to eat food that has been prepared under a feeling of anger, resentment, depression, or any outward pressure. Because the substance of the life stream performing the service flows into that food and is eaten, and actually becomes a part of the energy of the receiver. That is why the advanced spiritual teachers of the East never eat food prepared by anyone other than their own students. Conversely, if the one preparing the food is the only one in the household who is spiritually advanced, and an active charge of happiness, purity, and peace pours forth into the food from him, this pours forth into the other members and blesses them. I might say that there are more ways than one of allowing the Spirit of God to enter the flesh of man. Alright, I know if I eat my mother's food, if I eat food from a friend who I know I have this beautiful connection with, I can feel it. I can taste the love. It's just this extra dimension of flavor. And another thing I'd like to share is that when I sit down and I pray for my food and I really appreciate what I'm eating, and I eat with my hands, it's another level of connection. I really can taste it more. I can feel it. By being present, I can enjoy this food and I can feel it. Once I sat down after I ate, and basically I imagined all of this nutrition going into my body and being organized in the right way, and I could feel it. Like doing Tai Chi, I could feel it moving through my body and nourishing me. So a couple things that I would love to suggest. One is have parties where you can cook together, go with some people that you love, express that love, be happy, just make some beautiful dishes, be peaceful at the same time. You can have music, it's whatever you like, whatever you're into. Another thing, since a lot of us eat at Annapurna, I think if we express gratitude and appreciation towards the people who cook our food, it'll bring that inspiration to them, and then it will come back at us many times over. So that's essentially what I'm trying to say. I think we should be appreciative and we should express gratitude as much as possible for food that we eat, and we should prepare more food more often. Just spread that love through the medium of food. Thank you.
Okay.
Alright, I'm MC now.
Okay. So we got speeches in the room, we got music in the room, and I'm gonna leave it to your flow.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, so. Alright, excuse me while I do this. I understand that the spirit is to bring people up who had no idea they wanted to talk, but just want to come up and say something. So I think a good idea would be, if possible, to alternate people who have prepared speeches when everyone's kind of like, I don't know what to do, with people who are just, their hearts pound and they're like, oh man, I want to say something, but I'm afraid. Just what about me over here? So I would love to encourage anybody that has something they want to get off their chest, something they want to talk about. It doesn't need to be fluid or anything like that. If anybody here is willing to step up and put something forth that they have gone through, something that they want to talk about, something that inspires them, Here we go. All right, introduce yourself. Mohammed?
Yeah. Okay. My name is Mohammed. I really appreciate the book. He resembled me in one way because it looked like the outcast. I never fit on any caste the society would put me on it. You should go this way, this way. No, I don't want it. Why is that? So I like his what he chose to do. Go for adventure. That's the way I will do it one day. That's it will encourage me. I did something weird by the past. I will do it again. Since I am here in America, maybe I will hike the most highest mountain in America with Denali.
Nice.
Maybe the 7 Summit Challenge. I will do it on 8-year period. And I love the spirit that look, show it, he go for adventure, whatever it brings, welcome.
Alright, does anybody else who has not prepared something want to come up and just get it out? Right here we got Ajla. Oh, everybody welcome. The great Ajla.
So you mentioned that you only planned your first night where you're going to stay. Before I came here, I had the experience of sleeping outside in San Diego in the parks for at least 7.5 months. And I can give you some pointers. All right, so couch surf. You know a lot about that? So definitely take advantage of the internet on that. The number one thing is to keep yourself clean. If you're musty in any way, you cannot, it's hard to ask your food from people or ask money from people, but you might have to do, which isn't so bad because it makes you face your fears. Let's see, don't sleep where there's green, like grass, because if it's Australia, it probably means that they water the grass at night. So you don't want to sleep there. Wear red and green. Red gets attention, especially when you ask for money. Green is a friendly color, so that's good. Wear pretty stuff. when you wear pretty stuff, people think pretty things about you. And you make more friends, especially if you're sleeping outside. Go to local free events. Great place to meet friends and tell them about your great stories and how you just travel. And there'll be plenty of young cats like you just living outside or not knowing where to go. Let's see, so Australia, so make friends with the indigenous people. So, yeah, man. Just take it day by day. Stay in the moment, because that's when you'll notice opportunities that you wouldn't have noticed if you stay bugging out about the future. So yeah, you'll be good. Do your prayers, your meditations. Sit under the tree when you're feeling depressed, and it'll be good. So enjoy.
Alright, I don't know how many people prepared speeches, but if anybody right now who's prepared a speech is trying to come up and give it. Peter?
Thank you so much. The energy in this room is so inspiring. I'll tell you how inspiring it is, in fact. I didn't prepare anything. Not a single thing. My speech has come to me in bits and pieces and little ideas and inspirations and things like that. But the parts I know will unify here in this energy. So please take a moment. You can feel your pulse if you want. We'll just take maybe half a minute. I just want everyone to appreciate this instant in time. This beautiful energy. The profound thankfulness we have for Luke, for inspiring us through so many events, not just this one, but of course this one, and for just being himself beautifully. So let's just So, having said I haven't prepared a speech, I still have a few ideas that I'd love to share, that Luke has inspired in me, that I have realized in myself through program. I'll tell you a funny thing about program. We talk about stillness an awful lot for movement. It's a funny thing. Just how much? So, for one, I'll be moving around during this, just exploring the energy, having fun. And for two, just keep that in mind. They're not mutually exclusive. The goal is union. Yogasta Kuru Karmani. Established in union. What is the union? Silence and activity. This silence, dynamism. It's the same thing. So I want to talk a little bit about this idea of living a frictionless life that's been coming to me. And as a fun aside, before we get started, this whole event was frictionless. Amber, Hannah, Kelly, Chelsea, and I all got decorations and food and all these beautiful little things together. It was so easy. We put no effort into any of this, only love and wholeness. So how do we do that? How does that function? It's really very simple. Frictionlessness is listening to the impulse. You know how you have an impulse. You feel something is right, and then you do it. You don't think about it. Maybe validate it. That's okay. If you want to do that, go for it. But you go for it, and it's easy, and it works. This is how right action happens. It's spontaneous. And this is not to decry something against the intellect. This is about cultivating the intellect to work from the level of impulse. What is impulse? Think about the word. It starts with I'm, and it ends in pulse. very simple. So, you already know. In fact, I'll tell you how much you know. You, I, all of us, all this, is nothing more than the infinite ocean of natural law, of all intelligence totality. So, how is it that being, each of us, all this, we experience this friction? Well, again, it's very simple. When we put our attention on the friction, it grows. When we put our attention on the reality, the truth, the friction disappears. It isn't even real. But we perceive it out of a habit. And the easiest way is the easy way. It's effortless. So how do you break this habit? Well, let's say you find yourself experiencing some friction. Again, what is friction? It is the perceived barrier, the perceived difference of silence and dynamism. Maybe getting caught up in an activity and not knowing intuitively that there's silence there, and just allowing your intellect to also appreciate that, because if we don't, sort of gently let the intellect ride along, comfortable ride principle, then it might get a little grumpy, so to speak. So that's friction. It's believing on some level, allowing your attention with effort to impose a difference between silence and dynamism that is in fact patently false. So, you find yourself experiencing friction. Well, two things. One, rejoice. You found yourself. This is good. This is the first step. Two, having found yourself, you might ask yourself, self, who's experiencing this friction? Who is angry? Who's feeling the anger? Or who's feeling the sadness? Or who's feeling the confusion? Well, who is it? It's the totality of all intelligence, all creative intelligence that pervades everything in the universe. That is who you are. That is who everyone is, everything is. So, the simplest point is remember who you are. And if you get caught up in something that isn't you, just effortlessly, easily, you will want to do it. Allow yourself to return to yourself, remember yourself, and from this watchtower, it's a very beautiful thing Maharishi describes of infinity at the point. Infinity at the point. So what is infinity at its point? It is that totality of all creative intelligence, which is just consciousness. It is being. You talk about Rishi, Devata, Chandas. Well, Rishi is being, Devata is being, and Chandas is being. So it's just being. And a gentle reminder, on occasion, when you find yourself again, will help you to cultivate the intellect. And it's not mood making. It is allowing yourself to lean on and act from, and know that you are standing in and are in fact the point within which all infinity resides. This is that invincible watchtower from where we witness all things, all activity, all silence, all dynamism, all things. And so, this is just something I want to inspire a bit, because it's been inspired in me. And how has that happened? So many beautiful people. Almost everyone in this room. In fact, everyone in this room, because even in this moment, it's happening. You're inspiring this. You're enlivening this intelligence. So I want to leave you with one thought, which is simply that all these words, all this speech, all this sound, all the help, all the healing, everything you ever get, these are just raindrops on the infinite ocean of your intelligence. It is always you. It is always you that is realizing yourself. You are the agent of your evolution. You are infinity in its point. So let yourself get to the point. Be easy, be effortless, and just gently witness anything that happens and allow the impulse to rise up, and you act from that. And it's okay. And what is pulse, ultimately? We talked about impulse. What is pulse? It's the voice of totality. All this is sound. The pulse is the beginning of that sound. So, take the pulse, it's very good. And just be easy. Live frictionlessly. You already want to. You already can. So why try? Why add effort? Just be easy. Jai Gurudev.
Very nice. You want to come up?
Yeah. Alright, straight away.
That was beautiful. So I just want to talk about Luke and how I met Luke and how Luke inspires me. But I need just a little help because I don't completely take life seriously. So I'd like to make a game out of it for me. And it'll make it more entertaining for you. So I'd like to improv something. So just give me like 3 topics or like 1 word. I just need 3 of them. Just raise your hand or shout them out.
Bacon.
Bacon. Okay.
Guacamole.
Guacamole.
Light.
Right. Light, bacon, and guacamole. Aren't all those 3 basically the same? Okay. So I remember growing up, I slept in a waterbed growing up, okay? And so it's just like amazing. I'm this total pitted child, just super angry at life, sleeping on a waterbed. It was just so good for me. And my window, I'd sleep and my window was just like way over there, and I'd just like wake up and the birds would be chirping, and it was amazing. And on weekend mornings, sometimes if I was lucky, I just have the smell of bacon. and it was really the smell of my dad's love, because he was making bacon and he was making it for the family. And so I'd get up and get out of bed, and my whole family would come over. I've got 2 sisters, and so we'd all go over, and we'd all share bacon, and my mom was there, and we had a dog, and our dog would always like come up. He was this big white German Shepherd, just adorable dog, and we all shared bacon. And there was this love, this sharing, and we'd all make eye contact, and we just loved each other. And even though on the superficial level, like at times we always like bicker and stuff like that, all that stuff didn't matter. It's not the serious part of our relationship. It was that deep level of just like we all just wanted to share in that love. And so and so I never had. So one thing about Luke is, I don't think Luke. When did you first? You've tried meat, right? And so it just blew my mind that Luke had never tried meat, and I had never tried guacamole. I didn't hear about guacamole until I was like 20, in my 20s, 22, 23 maybe. I don't know when you heard about meat, Luke.
Okay, I was in Little League Baseball, and at home a hot dog meant tofu. And so I go up to the stand in Little League Baseball, I'm 9 years old, and order a hot dog. And I bite into it, and there's this swirly thing going on inside that I've never seen before. And it dawned on me. And I got confirmation from someone else that this wasn't tofu, and I spit it out.
And how did that make you feel?
I felt offended.
Okay.
The next time I had meat was when I was on an airplane, and I had a box that was labeled cheese sandwich. And it had something more than cheese in it. That was the first time I swallowed meat, and I was mad. They had ruined my record.
So you had pretty much the same experience that my first experience with guacamole was. Well, it wasn't. It was store-bought guacamole. It wasn't homemade guacamole. First time I had guacamole that was delicious. It was homemade and made with love. So that love poured into the guacamole, which then poured into me. And and so bringing it back to Luke, it was I don't know, 2-3 years ago was a visitors weekend. It was in October. I first met Don. I met Antoine Penn and just so many people. It's so many people, and everyone was just so amazing. And one of the people that I met was Luke. And I noticed that Luke had this look in his eye, and at all times, even when he was off, like if everyone knows if Luke is off, he still has this look in his eyes. It's just like everyone is his family, and it was just like it brought me to this place of, even though you're not particularly friends with someone, you don't know them, you can still love them, and you can still come to that space. And so to me, this is that space of transcendence. You're transcending all that, going beyond all the superficial stuff, and coming onto the level of like family. And I just felt really at home. And so I just kept talking to Luke during the visitors weekend, and I'd go, and I'd talk to other students too, and I'd ask them questions, and I was fascinated with Luke because he had grown up in the community, and I was into psychology and stuff, and I was just like all about learning what's it like for someone growing up in Fairfield. And Luke was just so open, and it was amazing. So open to the fact where I called him maybe 2-3 times over the course of like from when I visited to when I like came here for supposedly 3 months. And now it's been 2 years, and I've done the cities, and I work for the university. And so I just remembered, I was like, do I want to come here and get the TM City program and stuff, and venture out into a place? I was on my way. I was going to get my my master's degree. I was just going to keep focusing on master's degree, PhD, get my thing, money, job, kids, family. It was just like this big plan, this big master plan, just trying to fill it all in. And it was just, Luke had a different energy to him. And even though, not putting Luke on a pedestal, even though he might not know exactly what he's going to do in life, he's okay with that. And it seemed like to me when I talked to people around Fairfield, they were okay with that. They didn't need to be on this specific plan. And And so I did the TM City program and that really helped me a lot. And every time I got angry during the de-stressing process, or before I did the TM Cities, just since I've been here in Fairfield, to all the way like through like it all. Even sometimes when Luke has an idea that I'm a little off or something, and like we just talk and I feel better after, or vice versa. It's like I just feel so inspired and humbled by your ability to lead through your values rather than through what should or has to be in life. It's we're leading through our values instead of like the world's sort of path for us. And that in itself, to me, is a much stronger shift than I'm gonna go to here, then I'm gonna go to here, then I'm gonna go to here, and then I'm gonna graduate, and then I'm gonna settle down, and then I'm gonna have a family, and then I'm gonna have kids and stuff. It's just leading through those beautiful values of coming back and just taking our time. And whenever I feel like I don't know what's gonna happen with my life, I can think of my friends and I can think of people here in Fairfield, and it's just such a bigger light. It's such a bigger feeling of security that I'm not the only one that is tired of the junk in life and demands something different. And everyone is sort of bringing that light out, and I can just look out, and when I want to turn back into darkness, that's my choice. And I know it's my choice. And so I know that it's my responsibility to bring my attention back, and I can either bring more light out, or I can, absorb that light and just go back into my darkness hole. Weed, drugs, alcohol, for instance, that's my darkness hole. Being angry all the time, my darkness hole. Just punching things and being mad at people, that's my darkness hole. But I just feel so inspired by you, Luke, all the time, every day. Thanks.
Here, I'll step up for a minute, for a little bit. Thank you, Kyle, and thank you for all the beautiful words and stories. Part of what I wanted with this setting is that I believe we're all inspirational speakers. You don't have to be Tony Robbins. You don't have to be Wayne Dyer. We're all inspirational speakers. We all have a story. We all have a heart. We all have a message. We all have a world of people who can benefit by what we've experienced. So I want to invite you in a going forward way to take that risk if you feel to, just to share what you're experiencing, what you're going through, what you've experienced, what you've learned. And this is on an ongoing thing, an ongoing basis in life, that you have that in you to bring out the greatness of others. So let's transition into some music. What do you think? Feels like about the right time for that. We got a few people who came here to share some music, and I've got some words that I want to share with you. I have my own speech, which I think I'll do after the music. Does it sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I want to also give my appreciation. First off, I said this before, but I'll say it again. I feel so loved and appreciated right now. It really means so much to me. And to look around the room and see all of you here is just that simple act in itself is so heart-melting to me. And also, I want to give out a few words of thanks to people who I haven't gotten to thank, or to people who weren't here yet, Chelsea did a huge amount right here. And Hannah, where did you go? You're back, okay. Hannah, she, and Hannah brought some goodies that most people may not know are here yet. There's some homemade pie that was just made before coming here, as well as an awesome fruit salad I saw. So you might want to get some of that. Everyone
Gluten-free vegan pie too.
What is it?
It's a gluten-free
It's a gluten-free
vegan pie.
vegan pie. And just to remind you, there's a gluten-free chocolate pudding from an avocado base. Okay, there's ghee in the pie?
Yeah.
Okay, ghee in the pie. You'll get enlightened even faster. And I want to thank my mother, who's here, and my stepfather. For me to be who I am, and my mom made the cookies over there. I don't know if there are any left. That's your fate if you didn't get any. All right. Is anyone? Oh, and I want to thank Soren, who's videoing this very special event that I was really hoping to video and I didn't get it together to do it, and he just volunteered, which is so